No business person is going to say they're going to launch the product if they don't have the marketing done. No business person is ever going to say they're going to fire someone if they haven't talked to the legal department or their lawyer. No one is ever going to say, well, I'm not paying my taxes or I'm not running by the laws. We don't do that. What we do is we say, what do I need? When life comes at us in the business and things blow up, what do? We go to the experts and say, okay, here's what I have, but what can I do to get out of what I'm doing? Those are all normal, regular questions that we all ask ourselves. So what I said was, okay, strategically, I can do these 5 things every single day. And how I can do them is I organize my life according to these 5 things.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. It's an engaging and enlightening talk show on life, relationships, and the business of life. Grab a cup of juice and just chill. Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. Live life. Live fully.
Want to grow your business and take it to the next level? Well, here we all are, and we are going to show you how through hard work, perseverance, and a little help and know-how, you can take things to the next level and push the success of your business even further. Let's get going.
It's a pleasure to be on the show today. This is Omobola Stephen, your host on Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. Remember, if you want to catch up with any missed episodes of Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen, you can do so on any podcast promotion platforms you bump into or cross promotion platforms you bump into online. And you have a great time listening to the show. Today, I have Charlene Norman, who is the CEO, Chief Information Officer, and Truth Teller at the Preview Business Now. Welcome to Life Well Lived, Charlene Norman.
Thank you very much, Omobola. I'm delighted to be with you today.
All right. Delighted to have you also on the show, Charlene Norman. Now, you developed the framework, the 6 levels of a winning mindset to show people how you became a minor medical miracle. I'd like you to tell me more about it.
In 2015, I was struck by a virus, streptococcal meningitis. And what it does is it basically sucks out all the oxygen in your spine and in your brain. And so what happens is your body goes into seizures and strokes. And if it's not caught quickly enough, you can die. We all need oxygen. So, I don't remember any of it, but I do remember waking up in the hospital and my husband saying to me, "Oh, I'm so delighted you've woken up, honey. You've had a stroke. I'm going to go get the doctor and tell him you're awake." And I just had this big word no screaming in my head. And the reason I had a big word of no was because I didn't believe my husband. I didn't believe I was in fine form. Why would I have a stroke? Well, it was a viral infection. But also, I wasn't prepared to give up being the breadwinner of the family. I was not prepared to give up being the high-powered, quote-unquote, executive that I was in my former life. And so I just said, no, this is a joke. I can get through this. I can move through this. And the reason I'm telling you about the word no is what I have found in my entire life is if there's ever anything that I've ever wanted, whatever it was, I always had a picture of it in my head. I always carried a vision. So when I was in my early 20s, I knew I wanted a corner office in the boardroom. So I had a picture in my head of what that meant to me. It doesn't matter that it was a silly picture with a mini skirt and high heels is what it was with a panel background. Totally crazy. But I've had a picture in my head all the time of what I wanted, and I got it. In the time that I never had a picture or a vision in my head, I never got it. So the reason I'm really reinforcing this, I was not disabled. No, I was fully functioning. No, I would never lose my position of being the chief breadwinner, was because that was all important to me. And that was what kept me focused. And I say that because every business owner that I've ever met, every entrepreneur that I've ever met will have moments in time when they say, why am I doing this? What have I got myself into? And we always have to go back to, no matter where we are, why did we get into this in the first place? So the first thing I did was say no. I had a pity party for myself. I'm human. I felt sorry for myself. I wanted to cry. And then what I did was I said, okay, if I was going to ask myself for advice as this big, high-powered executive, what would I do? So I said, I'm going for it. Now, in business, when you have to make a decision, there's no halfway measures. You're either all in or you're not. And although many of us would love to do stuff part-time, doesn't work that way. So if you're going to launch a product or launch a new business or hire an employee or fire an employee or do any of that, we all have to make that decision. I'm going to do it or I'm not going to do it, and I'm going to face the consequences. So always the first step in the 6 steps is make that decision. It sounds simple, but once you make that decision, now everything moves at a much accelerated pace. The second level is what I call, you've got to gather your energy. And there's some terms out there in the world. Oh, well, let's be happy. Let's be grateful. Let's do this. And I say, no. What you want to do is understand what you've got inside and how you're different from everyone else, and thank whatever God you have of your understanding that you're fully formed enough today to move forward. So what I did in the hospital after my pity party, I laid in bed and I listened to the people in the ward. Some people couldn't walk. Some people, their tongue was stuck to the roof of their mouth. Some people couldn't get to the bathroom. Some people needed assistance. And I realized as I was lying in bed, I could walk. The walls needed help being held up because walls are just not firm things. They need humans to hold them up all the time. I could go to the bathroom myself and I could string sentences and ideas together. They may not have made a lot of sense, but I was well off and better than the rest of the mates in the hospital. So what I did was I said, I'm going to go be Miss Sunshine. I'm going to be cheerful and charming to all the people out there who don't have it as good as me, and I'm going to make their day. Now, the reason I say you want to help other people, and especially other people who maybe don't have as much as you do, is because that makes you feel good. It makes the feels in your heart, it makes the feels in your stomach well up. And you're going, oh my God, that's where my energy is coming from. All of us humans get energy from being connected to other people, to listening to other people, and to helping other people. Those are the easiest things, and all business people can do it. It doesn't cost any money. It doesn't cost any extra effort, and it makes you feel good and powerful. The third step is what I call clarity. It's becoming very aware and very honest with ourselves, because honestly, we're not always very honest with ourselves. We tell ourselves very unusual stories that are not necessarily true. And in this particular case, you want to be honest and you say, well, this is what I have. I was trained doing this. I have these skills. I have this much years experience, but I don't have this. I don't have this, and I don't have this. And it's the piece of what you don't have, if you don't pay attention to it, that's going to come back and bite you in the butt. So when I say, I looked at myself and I said, okay, here's what I have. I can do some stuff. There's other stuff I can't do. So let me work with what I have. So all business people, all the smart business people I know are saying, okay, I don't have to have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. Where can I get those answers? You get those answers from your employees, your suppliers, your customers, your coaches, your colleagues, and you keep an open mind, and you bring back those things to your own world. So the first 3 steps: make the decision, fill yourself up with energy, and be very clear about what you're bringing to the table and what you're not bringing to the table. Then you want to get what I call the 4th level is strategic, and you start asking yourself questions. What can I do? In a business sense, no business person is going to say they're going to launch the product if they don't have the marketing done. No business person is ever going to say they're going to fire someone if they haven't talked to the legal department or their lawyer. No one is ever going to say, well, I'm not paying my taxes, or I'm not running by the laws. We don't do that. What we do is we say, what do I need? When life comes at us in the business and things blow up, what do? We go to the experts and say, okay, here's what I have, but what can I do to get out of what I'm doing? Those are all normal, regular questions that we all ask ourselves. So what I said was, okay, strategically, I can do these 5 things every single day. And how I can do them is I organize my life according to these 5 things. So I have blocks of time specifically for this, this, and this. And then the 5th level is a hard level because it's all about having faith and confidence in our own abilities. And there are days when we don't have faith and confidence in our own abilities. And I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. I don't care how big your company is. You're always paddling. I had a great image today. You're always paddling madly like a duck on water. The way a duck travels on water is they're paddling like madly. That's what business people do. The rest of the world doesn't see that, but on the days that you don't feel like doing something, you just keep paddling because you know ultimately if you do it right and you do it long enough, it's going to work. This is the toughest piece. The absolute toughest piece is having constant faith and confidence in ourselves. The last step is the action step. And this is the piece that we have no control over. How long is it going to take me to be able to walk again perfectly? How long is it going to take me to launch this product and have people love it? How long is it going to take me to hire all those people, get them in place, and get us moving forward? The honest to God answer is we can make all the plans that we want, but we don't know. So many businesses will get off the boat too soon. Well, that didn't work. I'm going to go to try something else. And that didn't work. And I'm going to go try something else. That's not the way to move ahead in any business. Not one ever. It's not the way to move ahead in life. What you do is you've already come up in your 4th level. You've developed, you've said, here's my strategies. Here's what I'm going after. And you got to give it time. You have to keep your eyes open to what's improving. So many times, business people don't pay attention to the happy things, to the positive things. They pay attention to all the things that are going wrong. They pay attention to all the things that are blowing up. That's not a good thing either. You want to have an even way of looking at stuff. So, keeping the focus on it, taking those action steps, moving forward, without thinking about it's a pain in the butt, it's not working, but taking action and looking and saying, oh, that worked. It's changed here. It's changed there. It is working. Absolutely nothing, whether we talk about personal or business, nothing ever happens at the speed that we want it to happen. But if we let it go, it does happen. So the 6 steps to a winning mindset are: make the decision, go or not go. Fill yourself up with energy because that's what's going to propel you forward. Be very clear about what you have and what you're bringing to the table